Welcome to the show, everybody. My name is Mark Farzetta. This is the Farzy Show presented by MyBookie, MyBookie.ag. It's just wonderful to have you along for the ride. Hope you guys are doing well. Nick Ciarrocchi addressed the media yesterday. He's asked about that identity question again, and I have told you many times over, I don't give a darn about all that. Win is the only identity I care about. One of the best Eagles teams we've watched that hasn't won a Super Bowl was that 2022 team. And their identity was whatever it takes to win. That's the best identity you can have. Oh, we're a running team. Oh, we're a great defensive team. No. You're whatever it took to win. And that was what was so enjoyable about that team. They just, no identity. They were chameleons is what they were. Their identity was that they could be any identity. So I've really stopped buying into the idea of identity. However, I do believe in a bread and butter. And Nick Ciarrocchi was asked about the success of the run game and also asked about the fact that they lined up under center more than ever in the Nick Ciarrocchi era. Like double the previous average, as a matter of fact. And they were extremely successful in that regard. And let's not forget, that's with a banged up offensive line. Jordan Mailata, you're not going to be seeing anytime soon, unfortunately. Mekhi Becton left the game. Tyler Steen comes in. So you're down to 3 of your 5 starting linemen, and you're still able to rattle off big runs. We talked about it yesterday. Sean Kilrain, my man in the chat, thank you. You brought it up. Ben Von Sumeren was back in at fullback. What year? Is this 1987? A fullback? And you rattle off a big run with Saquon Barkley, his last big run of the game. That's pretty impressive that you would still install that. It was pretty amazing. And Saquon Barkley had all the success in the world in the game that he wanted to have that success in. And Jalen Hurts threw the football matching a record low number of 14 attempts in a start. Now, Nick Sirianni says that you can't remember the last time they had 14 passes in a game. I can. I got the exact date, as a matter of fact, and it has a beautiful tie-in to this particular game against the New York Giants in terms of relevance and maybe, I'm going to give it away if I say it, rallying for a head coach. We'll talk about it. Also, one of the worst possible things is a first-round draft pick that ain't cutting it. And maybe you found a replacement for this first-round draft pick. That was, certainly didn't cost you a first-round draft pick. And maybe the guy who wasn't a first-round draft pick, maybe, just maybe, he's a guy that is going to go out there and dominate if given the opportunity. I don't want to get into specifics, but maybe 38% of the snaps. We'll get into that conversation. Nick Sirianni was asked about that yesterday. The turnovers for Jalen Hurts, what has gone into that with him having turnover-free football over the last 2 games. And, Jalen Hurts, I don't, you guys tell me if he took exception to it or not. Because he was asked about Jalen Hurts in his press conference after the game against the against the Giants, excuse me. He was asked about turning the football over, protecting it, and then he was also asked about the 4th down conversions. The one was on the 4th and 3 that ended up being the 41-yard touchdown pass down the sideline to A.J. Brown. He takes you through that play, and he was asked whether or not it was a check. And I don't know if Jalen is hearing a lot of talk about, is he changing plays at the line of scrimmage? Is he changing too many plays at the line of scrimmage? Is he trusting Nick Sirianni? Is he trusting Kellen Moore? Is he broadening his horizons when it comes to reading the field in front of him, the whole field in front of him, over the middle and whatnot? This A.J. Brown play was not over the middle, but it was apparently the play called. And you tell me if he was taking exception to the amount of times he was checking the football or checking the play, I should say, at the line of scrimmage. So we'll talk about that. Also, my old friend Pete Ciarrocchi stops by the show. We have a great event coming up at Chickies and Pete's in South Philadelphia this Thursday. I can't wait for it. We've talked about it. Oh, there it is. Kelce costume contest this Thursday night, October 24th, 7 p.m. Chickies and Pete's, South Philly. We have a lot of friends stopping by. Todd Harriman's will be down there. Of course, we're going to have ourselves a great time, and you can enjoy the Kelce combo. Now, this is what Jason Kelce eats at Chickies and Pete's when he goes to Chickies and Pete's. It's the barbecue burger, it's the crab fries, and it's the garage beer right there on draft. $4 drafts, by the way. That's all day, every day. Take a look at that. Oh, my goodness gracious. I was a regular at Chickies and Pete's for a long time, and then I had children, and I had to stay in. And with a 2.5-year-old, not bringing him down to Chickies just yet, because I don't want him to break things, basically. But yeah, we got this going on there, so you can take advantage of that. Some of the prizes include VIP tickets to Birds versus Dallas on the 29th, courtesy of our friends at Tick Pick. Also, we have how about this? 14 karat, yellow gold birds necklace, courtesy of Rosnov Jewelers. A stay at Ocean Casino Resort. How about hockey tickets? How about basketball tickets? FOCO swag. FOCO does those amazing Garrett Stubbs overalls, of course, and so much more, as well as bobbleheads. They do it all at FOCO. So come on down to Chickies and Pete's, ladies and gentlemen. Have yourselves a great time. Pete Ciarrocchi stops by to talk birds with us and talk about Chickies and Pete's as well. Just one more time. Oh, my goodness gracious. Yeah, that looks delicious. For the people on the podcast, it's a beautiful thing. A barbecue burger with bacon, drizzled with barbecue sauce, smothered in cheese, basket of crab fries. Oh, no, so good. A nice cold pint of garage beer. Delicious. So let's get into it. First. Thank you. Jalen Hurts, ladies and gentlemen. Jalen Hurts went out there through 14 passes. He completed 10 of them. Explosive plays. Yeah, they had a lot of them when it came to Saquon Barkley running up the middle, Saquon Barkley running to the outside, Saquon Barkley getting some blocks. What did we count yesterday? 41 yards, 38 yards, 55 yards, not in that order, is what Saquon Barkley rattled off. And when the Eagles consider splash plays, they're talking about 20-yard plays. Yeah, they had a lot of those against the Giants. And a 41-yard touchdown pass to A.J. Brown kind of opened things up. We didn't get into this yesterday because we were concentrating on the game itself. But after the game, when Jalen Hurts was addressing the media, he explained what happened on the 4th and 3 call. And then also, I took it as him taking exception. Like, I don't know if he thinks people are reaching for some kind of disconnect between him and the coaching staff, whether that be Kellen Moore or whether that be Nick Sirianni. I don't know how he takes this, but you tell me. This jumped out to me. Jalen Hurts talking about the 4th and 3 to A.J. Brown that ended up being the 41-yard touchdown pass. Here it is.
3 to A.J. What did y'all see going into that play to have confidence?
It was just a great opportunity, one-on-one in that situation of the game. An aggressive play. And another one that worked out for us.
Was that a check by you?
No, it wasn't.
Another 4th down, the 4th and 2 where you scrambled for the first down.
I just think everything's a check.
Did you catch that? Middle of the next question, Jeff McClain, Inquirer.com. Middle of the next question, y'all think everything's a check? Now, he had a little smirk on his face when he said it, and then he stone-faced again. Like, I know we say a lot of stuff. I know the city of Philadelphia. I know Eagles fans. I know any sports talker is talking a lot, obviously, about your Philadelphia Eagles, and rightfully so. They're the toast of the town. They're the belle of the ball in this city. Talking Eagles, you're talking sports, obviously. But is he getting rabbit ears now about the amount of times he might change a play, or is he almost offended for his coaches that this narrative could be starting, and maybe with some people has already started, about him having to change plays at the line of scrimmage? Now, this could be taken two ways. One, the first, which is he taking exception for his head coaches? Or two, he just wants to change everything to only things that he feels extremely comfortable in. The conversation that we had last week about Jalen Hurts throwing over the middle of the field, I know this has come up a couple of different ways. Kurt Warner, when he did his film breakdown last week, I thought it was phenomenal. If you haven't seen that yet, it's worth a watch. He talked about doing things that your quarterback feels comfortable doing. Obvious coaching. But there are some times where maybe you got to do something that's not your favorite, simply because it's what that defense is not protecting against. They're not defending against. Oh, maybe the middle of the field, so maybe you got to throw it over the middle of the field. Maybe that play is actually going to be open. Maybe you go through your progressions, and number two, whether it's Devontae Smith, whether it's Grant Calcaterra in this case, maybe it's Saquon Barkley is in the middle of the field. You got to hit him. There was one instance in this game. I mean, of a lot of things. Yesterday, I talked a lot about the press coverage that the Eagles were in yesterday. It felt like they were in press coverage more than ever. Certainly, lining up under center felt like that more than ever. Something to add to that. Something else I'll say that is wild, and I wish this wasn't something that I was doing cartwheels over. Jalen Hurts not turning the football over. Jalen Hurts not putting the precious pigskin in peril at all in that game. And there was one particular instance when he checked down. The play was being run. He surveyed the field, saw nothing, and instead of hero balling it, instead of scrambling out of the pocket, he just dumped it down. And I believe it was Kenny Gainwell at the time. And he just got the ball for about maybe 2 yards. And I thought, holy pots and pans. Between press coverage, between lining up under center, and between checking it down and not turning the football over, these are a few of my favorite things. This is amazing. So I don't know if Jalen Hurts has this in his head now where people are thinking he's trying to change too much to only do what he's more comfortable doing. Because in this particular game, I saw him do a lot of things he's not used to doing. But when he was asked about the check down, potentially checking down to A.J. Brown, I don't think he took it as a compliment. Because one of the other avenues you could take this is, wait, Dallas Goedert in New Orleans was raving about how Jalen Hurts checked to that play that he took for, 67 yards, was it? That's a play Jalen noticed something and checked to it. So give me your take on that. Jalen's response to it, I think everything's a check? Because he might have said it with a smirk. I don't think he was kidding around. And then the other part is, the puppy dogs and ice cream part. I'm going to live in this school for a second, and in no way, shape, or form am I comparing Nick Sirianni to this Hall of Fame coach. If I could live in my life through Allen Iverson and Larry Brown, eventually getting into a love fest with one another, then by golly, Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni could do it too. Not comparing anybody to anybody. I'm comparing a relationship is what I'm comparing. So this is not a Jalen Hurts and Allen Iverson or, Nick Sirianni is Larry Brown. I'm not saying that at all. I'm simply talking about a relationship here, okay? So this time it wasn't Jalen Hurts just offering kind words out of nowhere to Nick Sirianni, unsolicited kind words to Nick Sirianni. This time he was actually Sirianni. This time he was actually asked about it point blank, about what this week meant for Nick Sirianni, how this week affected Jalen Hurts in support of his head coach. When they asked Nick Sirianni about it, what did the players do for you this week to show their support? He said they just came to practice and they worked harder. That's all they did. They just came to practice and they worked hard. They showed me support by working their butt off in practice. So Jalen Hurts was asked about how he showed his support to his head coach, and this was his answer to that.
How did that manifest itself, and how did you show them that as well?
I've continued to carry myself in the same way that I have. Obviously, he knows that I'm behind him, and he knows that communication is important amongst this team sport, and he's been doing a really good job of doing that. We talk about everybody dominating their box and trying to check off their box, given the roles that you have, and I feel like he's really come in with really good intentionality, and trying to deliver good messages for us to be focused and be on the same page. And he's also apologetic when he needs to be. And so I'm excited about the direction we're going in. I'm excited about the direction Coach is going in with everything, too.
Everybody loves somebody sometimes. Your Philadelphia Eagles were 3-8 going into these last two games. Now they're 2-0. They won back-to-back games for the first time since the Bills and then previously the Chiefs game of last year, week 11, week 12. They got their first 10-point victory in a game. Granted, it was a lot more than 10 points. Oh, my God. They accomplished that feat, right? They haven't done that since the Miami game of last year, week 8, I want to say it was. So it's been a minute. We could be experiencing the turnaround of the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, I don't want to get into this conversation because it drove me crazy during the baseball season of, are the Phillies back? You know what I mean? Are the Eagles back? Right? Here's what I think with the last 2 games that we've seen from the Philadelphia Eagles. We've seen big steps forward. Jalen Hurts not turning the football over against the Browns, and again, not putting the ball in trouble at all, in harm's way at all, is a big step forward. The defense not allowing a touchdown through 2 games is pretty impressive. Saquon Barkley in this game against the Giants, pretty impressive. I mean, look, the rest of the league didn't just find out that Saquon Barkley was good at football, all right? But they might have just found out that the Philadelphia Eagles can get him to do basically anything he wants on the football field, even with a banged-up offensive line, and then still hit you over the top on a 4-3 for a 41-yard touchdown pass with Jalen Hurts dropping it in the breadbasket of A.J. Brown. And this game, you barely got anything from Devontae Smith on the stat sheet. -2 yards, I believe, on it he had on his 1 catch. So he didn't even get going in this game. This is also without Dallas Goedert again, unfortunately. But they're finding a way to get it done. And I know that the Giants are a bad football team. But my overall point from this Giants game, my overall point from the Browns game is, at this point, I don't care who you're playing. You got to win. Because the Eagles aren't a good enough football team yet to look across the field and prove something against a upper echelon opponent. Plus, they're not playing them right now, unfortunately. So all you could do is battle within yourself. The Eagles had too many demons they had to exercise out of their own locker room before they started focusing on anybody else. Now, sure, you got a game plan. You got to prepare for an opponent, obviously. But, it's only the Browns. I don't care. The Eagles were only 4 points better than the Browns. It's only the Giants. I don't care. They whooped up on a Giants team that they should have whooped up on. Coaching didn't get in the way. Turnovers didn't make it close. Blown defensive assignments and a plethora of missed tackles didn't make it a closer game than what it should have been. They did exactly what they should have done. The Eagles were the team I believed they were. Going into the season, this Sunday against the Giants, the Eagles were the team I believed they were at the beginning of the year. A team that would do that to the Giants, a team that chose Daniel Jones over Saquon Barkley. What does it all mean? It means the Eagles, I think, have exercised their demons. And I think we could get back to winning being the standard again and not, oh, God, when is this over? So if you want to call that the Eagles are back, okay, fine. Back to what? Back to a Super Bowl contender? Here's what I took away. 1, exercising the demons. 2, when they went into the Browns game, and I said this even before the Browns game, I thought that the Eagles were a playoff team that would get bounced out in their first game. One and done. They beat the Giants. They beat the Browns after that game. My takeaway, the same thing. It didn't move the needle at all. This game doesn't make them a Super Bowl favorite with a 28-3 win over the Giants by any means. But this win makes me go, are the pieces back together? Now, they got the Bengals coming up next. The Bengals put up 17 points on the road against the Giants. They allowed just 7 points against the Giants. So that kind of looks more at the idea that the Giants, yes, do in fact suck. But what I'm looking forward to the most certainly isn't this Eagles team taking on a Bengals defense that looks horrible. But my take is it's another test for this Eagles secondary that I believe has already proven that they're the real deal. Now, Quinyon Mitchell has proven that to me. Looks like absolutely the real deal. Cooper DeJean, bigger test. Only 2 games under his belt, of course. He's going to get an opportunity against one hell of a receiving core out there in Cincinnati. The fact that it's on the road also factors into how you're going to judge this game. But Sidney Brown, Cooper DeJean, Quenyon Mitchell, all three of those guys, and I would assume Sidney Brown stepping up a little bit more than the 16% of the defensive snaps, 9 in total that he had against the Giants. I look forward to seeing that number uptick just a wee bit more against the Bengals. Those are 3 great changes from the start of the season till now. Now, Quenyon was out there as a starter originally, but adding Cooper DeJean, adding Sidney Brown, you're telling me you got, from last year to this year, 3 new faces, not even including Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, who hasn't been the same player he was 2 years ago when he was wearing the Eagle green. But you mean to tell me you're adding those types of players as the season has gone on, proving their worth in this secondary with Quenyon, with Cooper, and with Sidney Brown? I'm all about it. And this is going to be a great test coming up against the Bengals, and I look forward to that. So that's what I'm looking at. As far as Nick Sirianni addressing the media yesterday, a couple of things jumped out to me from that. And this had to do with running the football. Now, to break it down for you, the Eagles with Kenny Gainwell, not even including Jalen Hurts, but Saquon Barkley ran the ball 17 times. Kenny Gainwell ran the ball 13 times. 30 runs by your running backs. Well over 200 yards. That's a good day. That's a really good day. Kenny Gainwell averaged 4.3 yards per carry in the game. That's pretty special, as a matter of fact. They found what worked in the game, and they kept it going. They went up tempo at times, something we talked about going into the game because Lane Johnson alluded to it last week. But when they wanted to run the football, they ran it at will. They did what they wanted to do. So yesterday, Nick Sirianni was asked about their success in running the football and the amount of times that they ran under center in particular in this game and why that was the way to go about it against the Giants.
Yeah, again, every game plan requires different action. Based off the defense that you're playing, you still want to stay true to who you are and the things that you do well and the things that are part of your offense and the things that mesh with your offense well. But then every game plan calls for a little bit different. So I think, I can't tell you the last time we came out of a game and we only threw it 14 times. So again, it's not only the game plan, but also the flow of the game and the way the game is going. We had a lot of 4-minute snaps yesterday, meaning, we were running out. I think at the end of the game, we were run, threw it a couple times. But all those things play into it, and that's just the way a game plays out.
How about no? How about this is what you could do against most teams? Like most teams, especially if your offensive line is healthy, but in this particular case, and I don't think the offensive line had some kind of spectacular game, but man, when they won battles, they dominated battles. The historical term, I believe, is battles of annihilation. The enemy wasn't defeated. It was annihilated. Those were battles that they annihilated the Giants on. It wasn't every play, but when they really needed to do it, when they really wanted to do it, it was done. And that's what makes you think about, yes, again, putting that fullback in there. Shout out again, my man Sean Kilrain yesterday. But good Lord, they just absolutely dominated. But this is you. This is who you are. You can be this whenever you want. When you want the splash plays, yes, you can certainly get them from Saquon Barkley. You can also get them, take them top off the defense with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. You can do that. Oh, while I'm on that note, because you were able to run the football so well, it actually set up play action. What you were trying to do against the Browns, well, at least I thought you were trying to do against the Browns, you ended up not doing. You didn't use play action hardly at all against the Browns, yet you were running the football really well. Or in the early goings of the game, you were showing a lot of run plays. That's the way to say that. But this game against the Giants, I couldn't believe when I saw the most obvious play that the Eagles should be running that they don't ever run, which was the fake halfback draw, the running, the draw, and Jalen pulls it from the stomach of Saquon Barkley over the middle of the field to a slanting A.J. Brown. It feels like that play is there all the time, and the Eagles hardly ever run it. So talk about a quarterback stepping out of their comfort zone. Running the football that well really opens things up pretty well for your quarterback. And I remember in the offseason, people were talking about Kellen Moore and the fact that he doesn't run RPO. If you have Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley, you run the RPO. In that particular case, wasn't an RPO. I believe it was just a fake handoff. Old play action out of shotgun. Letting the guys come down and then boom, over the top. And it worked to perfection. But this is who you could be every single week. So when stuff's hitting the fan, you go to your bread and butter. If you want to call that the identity of the team, call it the identity of the team. I just call it a bread and butter play. That can work for you every single time. So that was impressive. Also, Jalen Hurts, 14 snaps. Or it should be 14 attempts. Did he say it in this time?
Yeah, you know, again, every game plan requires different action. You know, based off the defense that you're playing, you still want to stay true to who you are and the things that you do well and the things that are part of your offense.
No, I don't think he said it in that one, but he said, I can't remember the time we threw 14 passes in a game. I can, because I went back and I was like, when's the last time I did this? Holy pots and pans. The 31st of October, 2001, against the Detroit Lions in a 44-6 Eagles victory, I believe it was. The Eagles won that football game 44-6, and they threw the football 14 times. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That was the flower power game. That was a rallying moment for the 2021 Philadelphia Eagles. After that, they went on a nice little run to end the season. They made the playoffs. Unfortunately, they got bounced out against Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the first round, as we all remember. But they did a hell of a job that year, rallying around their head coach. I told you last week going into the game, or excuse me, last week coming out of the Browns game, that this was my take on Monday after the game. This could very well be the turning point in the season. This could be the flower power version of 2024, where the whole world is against the Eagles because they're against the head coach. And because of the head coach, the Eagles won't do anything. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying this is what I root for in terms of, yeah, you know what I hope happens? I hope the Eagles head coach pisses off everybody, and then that helps the team come together and they win. No, I just hope that the Eagles are a good football team. And to be honest with you, why they're a good football team, I really don't care. If it takes a galvanizing moment, if it takes a rallying cry moment, then fine. I'd rather it just be because they're really good at football and not needing some moment to go, oh, wait, now we can be our true selves. No, how about you just go out there and you be good football? You don't need that extra motivation. You just, get motivated by wanting to be great at your job. Where's it? We get that? Is that going to happen? Please? But yeah, October 31st, 2021 was the last time Philadelphia Eagles had their quarterback, Jalen Hurts, throw 14 passes in a game. Matches a career low in starts. So how about that? He's only had games of 20 or fewer passes. I think it's 4 times in his career, in games that he started. So that's pretty remarkable. But yeah, Nick Sirianni walked you through that. Now here's the other deal: the turnover aspect of it with Jalen Hurts. Now back-to-back games where you did not turn the football over and did not put the precious pigskin in peril. Nick Sirianni says Jalen Hurts is putting the work in off the field to make sure he understands where the football's got to go during the game.
So, again, it takes, a ton of reps. It takes a ton of study, and Jalen's done so much of that to, and he knows how important it is to take care of the football, but he also knows how important it is to win the explosive play battle. So that's not something where, hey, that's what we talk about each week. Hey, let's win the explosive play battle and let's win the turnover battle. Well, a lot of that falls on his shoulders of being able to push the ball when it needs to be pushed. And sometimes, you get explosive plays. Yesterday we have a check down to Kenny Gainwell. It wasn't an explosive, but it was darn close, of a 12-yard gain because Kenny got the ball in space and was able to make a guy miss. So a lot that plays into it. I think, he's been playing good football and, taking care of the ball and, have this 2-game win streak. And, he's touching the ball every play. So he's a big part of that and big reason why.
Got to put the work in. Got to understand what's in front of you so you don't give the ball away. Just being smart. I haven't seen Jalen Hurts do one thing that has said hero ball. And I know there were some instances where you could look at with Jalen Hurts taking 4 sacks in the first half of the game against the Giants. Some instances where he just throw the ball away, throw it away. And in some instances, he did throw the ball away. One that I remember. He didn't play no hero ball. Every once in a while, he just yelled, eat it. Just eat. Just take the sack, man. Just go down. And that's what he did. Some of that was on the offensive line. Some of that was on him. One instance in particular, just get rid of it. But just ate it. Covered up. Didn't fumble. Went down. Sometimes it's not the worst thing in the world, especially if you're going through, 7 of the first possessions all ending in punts in that game? 7? 4 plays, 3 plays, 4 plays, 3 plays, 3 plays, 3 plays, punt. Like every single time for 7 possessions to open up that game. Yeah, live to fight another day certainly applied in yesterday's game. And then they gave the ball to Saquon Barkley. They ran the ball 5 times. Saquon rattled off 55-yard run. Touchdown Saquon Barkley carrying all of North Jersey with him for the Eagles' first touchdown of the game. And since then, or from that point on, they just dominated. Just absolutely dominated. Last thing from Nick Ciarrocchi yesterday before we get to our friend Pete Ciarrocchi of Chickies and Pete South Philly to tell us about our amazing Kelce costume contest coming up Thursday night. Chickies and Pete South Philly, 7 o'clock. I'll be down there emceeing the whole thing. Which Jason Kelce are you? Parade Jason Kelce? Playing football Jason Kelce? 51st dates Jason Kelce? Which one are you? Doug was the guy's name in 51st Dates, right? Sean Astin? Right? Now, here's where controversy comes in, okay? Jordan Davis. Nobody's coming to save us, Jordan Davis. Been mostly disappointing. Jalen Carter has certainly had his spurts this season, and I'd say a 2-sack game is a fine spurt against the New York Giants. His best game, certainly since New Orleans. So he has played well and played well against the Giants. Jordan Davis has left something to be desired. Now, for comparison, one's a nose tackle, one's a defensive tackle. But Jordan Davis in this game played 16% of the 21% of the Eagles' defensive snaps. That's 12 plays in that game. 21% of the snaps. For the season, he has been at 43% of the snaps. So we'll do the math. Less than half of the snaps that he's used to playing, he played in this game. That ain't good, percentage-wise. That ain't good. That is a concern. Now, Moro Ajomo goes out there in this game Sunday against the New York Football Giants, and Ajomo plays 22 snaps, 38% of the snaps. Jordan Davis is a 13th overall pick. Ajomo is a 7th rounder, and he's out there balling against that Giants team. After yesterday's press conference, Nick Sirianni was asked how the hell that happens. And he used a little coach speak, but I thought he gave a couple nuggets in here. Here it is.
Yeah, I think that's just the flow of that game, of how that kind of played out. They were in some more must-pass scenarios, and Jordan, I definitely know, can be a 3-down guy. He has strengths. Definitely in the run game is one of his biggest strengths. There's a play yesterday where he kind of pushes the center back into the play. Brandon Graham does a good job of holding the edge of a slice blocker on the edge, and they kind of blow up the run. But I think it was just we got a lot of faith in Jordan, and he's done a great job of taking care of his body and being in great shape. So we know that he can play, more plays than he did, but it was just the way the game played out yesterday with the
Jomo and the Giants running. Excuse me. It was wild to watch the way that game unfolded. And I thought I was noticing a lot more Moro Ajomo, and we were noticing a lot more Moro Ajomo. So concerned about Jordan Davis? Yes. I don't like when coaches default to the coach speak of downshift. That's the way the game played out. That's just how it went out. Well, what about your best players Like, shouldn't your best players be playing as much as possible? Like, even if it's a matchup, then Jordan Davis hasn't prepared himself well enough for that matchup. And this is where you also get into unsolicited comments. They weren't asking about how good a shape Jordan Davis is in. They were just asking about what went into it. So probably Nick Sirianni's mind, the gears are going, and he's like, oh, wait a minute, they're probably thinking he's not in shape. And he can only play 12 snaps. That's a little concerning. It has my concern. And it's a tough thing for a team to recognize. Oh, wait, our first round pick isn't playing up to the potential. Now we're going to be working in a 7th round pick. That's a tough thing for them to do. They did it. It's something I'm certainly going to be keeping a close eye on going up against Cincinnati Bengals on Sunday. Before we go any further, let me tell you about the great people at MyBookie, mybookie.ag. Download the MyBookie app to your phone, create an account, use promo code FARZI, and get up to $1,000 redeemable cash bonus at MyBookie, mybookie.ag. How about the Game Time app? Download the Game Time app to your phone, create an account, use promo code FARZI, and get $20 off your first purchase on the Game Time app. Yeah, that's right. College football games, Game Time app has you covered. You could view your seat before you buy it. You could toggle the all-in pricing feature so you know exactly what you're paying before you check out. And how about this? Game Time Picks. You could toggle the Game Time Picks feature on the Game Time app. And you know what you can do with that? I'll tell you what you can do with that. You can filter out all the fluff and just get down to the best seats for the best prices on the Game Time app when you toggle the Game Time Picks feature. So download the Game Time app to your phone, create an account, use promo code FARS, and get $20 off your first purchase on the Game Time app. How about PHL Sports Nation, Philadelphia Sports Nation, enhancing your Philadelphia sports fan experience across all social media and blogs? That's PHLSportsNation.com. Before we get into the chat check, our friend Pete Ciarrocchi stops by for a few minutes to talk about the Eagles, what he was doing during the Eagles game against the Giants there. And also the Jason Kelce costume contest. Again, your prizes, VIP tickets to the Birds, taking on Dallas on the 29th of December, courtesy of Tick Pick. A 24-karat yellow gold Birds necklace, courtesy of Rosnob Jewelers. A stay at Ocean Resort. Philadelphia hockey tickets, Philadelphia basketball tickets. Oh, my goodness gracious. Foco swag and so much more. All courtesy of the great people at Chickies and Pete's. I look forward to emceeing this fine event. Without further ado, let's jump on the Rothman Orthopedics guest line and talk to our friend Pete Ciarrocchi of Chickies and Pete's. Joining us right now, the Rothman Orthopedics guest line, the man, the myth, the legend, from Chickies and Pete's, Pete Ciarrocchi joins us. Pete, how are you, friend?
Mark Farzetta, thank you. You're too kind. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing great. First, I just want to bring people in behind the scenes because I've known you for so long. I haven't seen you in a while. And we were kicking off the season with the Fox 29 crew, and they had their little block party, if you will. The first person I see greeting people walk through the gate, the great Pete Ciarrocchi, man. You still got that. You still got that pizzazz, friend.
Shaking hands and kissing babies, man. That's what I do for a living.
Exactly. Now, before we get to, because this is a great event we have going on here, and I'm so honored to host this because, like anybody else in Philadelphia, I'm a huge Jason Kelce fan. I know you're a huge Jason Kelce fan. Yeah. I know Jason Kelce hangs out down there at Chickies and Pete's, South Philly, especially. We got the Kelce costume contest going on. Chickies and Pete's, South Philly. That's Packer Ave. That's this Thursday, October 24th, 7 p.m. We got some great prizes on hand here. Yep. We'll rattle those off in a second. But I just want to ask you this question out of the gate. Pete, when you think of Jason Kelce, of all the Philadelphia athletes that you've gotten to know over the years, when you talk about Jason Kelce, what immediately jumps to mind about what not just he means as a football player, but to the city of Philadelphia?
True Philadelphian. Anybody who puts on a mummer's costume. I mean, to me, I'm a mummer. So to me, it was like a shot in the arm. Like, this guy, we love him. Now, you got to remember, he used to do a show at Chickie and Pete's with Todd Herman's. I mean, his first broadcasts were at Chickie and Pete's. He came in every week. He loved the people. He never said no for an autograph. He never said no for a picture. I mean, he spent so much time. He didn't forget me when they did that show on him and his brother. And all that video was all from Chickie and Pete's, watching his brother play a football game, watching the Chiefs play. So I just think he is a true Philadelphian.
Yeah. If you had to dress as Yeah, right. Yeah. And I remember that from the Kelce documentary on Amazon Prime that Connor Barwin was heavily involved with as well. All the shots, him and his family watching the Chiefs game at Chickies and Pete's. I've been in that room. It's a great room down there on Packer Ave. When you think of Jason Kelce, and I'll take away, because obviously you are a mummer, I'll take away the mummer outfit. If you had to think of the prime Jason Kelce costume, what would Pete Ciarrocchi dressed as?
I don't know. Is there such a nice costume? Such a costume as a nice guy? I mean, I don't know.
Well, for him, that's the hoodie. That's like the Carhartt hoodie.
He comes in, takes his shirt off. I mean, that's in the videos if you remember from the 30-30 thing or whatever. He just would come in, just right from the game, slides, no shoes, slides on, come in, no matter how cold it was. He's just that guy. Mm-hmm. He's truly that guy. That if you're going to emulate yourself to want to be like somebody, be him. I said to everybody, we're looking at an election now, and I'm not going to get into that part. But if Kelce was in it, he would win. He would win the election because he's better than both candidates.
I agree.
No question. I'm telling you right now, he would win the election.
Absolutely. No, zero doubt. I totally agree with you on that.
You call him Presidente, Kelce.
Soon enough. Let him get this Monday Night Football thing out of his system. You know what I mean? Let him get that out of his system and then get into politics.
He wore a costume last week on TV.
Yes, he did. The Bills helmet and all that. The Bills, yeah.
So the mummer stuff wore off on this guy.
I'm sure he's still got it in the closet somewhere. He might even break it out. Who knows? Yeah. You never know who could show up at Packer Ave this Thursday night.
Yeah,
wait, what?
On Thursday night.
I've always said this about Chickies and Pete's, especially because in my single days having some great times down there at Chickies and Pete's South Philly, especially the Phillies were in the 2008 World Series. They're having that great playoff run, and I always said this, and it still remains about any Chickies and Pete's location. You walk in with maybe a couple of your friends, you walk out with 1,000 friends. Like that's how it is. Everybody, Pete, it's the truth. Everybody that goes into Chickies and Pete's, you're part of a community when you're watching those games. And Chickies and Pete's keeps that true to form, man. That's what I love so much about it. And this is going to be such a great party that we're going to have Thursday night. Obviously, we got some great things going on there. I know it was probably bumping. You were at home for this Giants win, were you not?
I was at home screaming, loving it. But then it got boring. We were kicking their butt so bad. I was like, this is ridiculous now. I mean, the end of the game, I wanted to go up to the game. That was my original plan, to go to the game, go to Peter Luger's afterwards for dinner. That's my thing. And I said, you know what? I've been on the run between the parade to this, to that for the last 3 weeks, 4 weeks. I'm back and forth. I was all over the place. I missed the Eagles game at home, and I just said, I want to watch the game because I want to, really ideally look at each player and see what they're doing. Because when you go to the game, it's hard. For me, it's hard for me to focus. There's people, there's this, there's that. But that's what I wanted to do, and I did. And I thought they looked great. I thought the holes were opening up like that. You were very quick to hit the holes yesterday. Very quick.
Yeah, it was great. And I know it was a party. We were doing the pre and post game show. We were right by a Chickies and Pete's, and you could hear the people just enjoying every little success that the Eagles were able to have in that game against the Giants. What do you like the most of this Eagles season? What are you liking the most so far? I know there's some bumpiness getting out of the gates there. Now they're 2 games over 500. What do you see for this Eagles team the rest of the way?
Well, I didn't foresee this defense being so good. I didn't foresee that. So I'm looking forward to seeing that happen and evolve. I'm looking forward to the new down line offensive linemen that are actually playing very good because we have some injuries here. So I thought that was going to do bad, and they're actually doing good. And I thought that the defense was going to be not. I didn't think they were going to be as good as they are. They're really good. They're good.
Yeah, Vic Fangio's got him, man. I think he's pushing him over the top. We got one more thing I have to say about this. So not only do you guys have the Jason Kelce costume contest, you guys also have coming up this Thursday night. What's the Kelce combo? Now this is all day, every day, $4 garage beer drafts, and then they got the Kelce combo on top of that, which is the barbecue burger, the crab fries with the garage draft beer. Now the draft beers are $4. This whole thing is just for $20 at Chickies and Pete's. Look at that. Oh my goodness gracious.
1962 if you get it.
Oh, of
62, yeah.
course.
1962 Farzetta. Figure that out. So number 62. Yes, I mean that's what Kelce eats when he comes in. He's a crab fry guy. He likes his burgers, you know, and the beer is very good. You could drink them all day. The garage beer is great. We sell it in our Kansas City location too, because there's another Kelce there. You know, we got another Kelce in Kansas City, so we do it both. And we're selling. I think we sold as of yesterday like 2,800 already. You know, just out of there, out of South Philly. So it's just unbelievable. And I think Kansas City's better. The Kelce brothers are loved by everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And I think having this beer, $4 all day, every day, and of course, get the Kelce combo. As far as the contest goes, that's Thursday night. That's the Kelce lookalike contest, which you are the judge and the head judge of it, right?
I'm going to have some help. It gets a little dicey if the MC is also the head judge. You know, they could get, things might go awry. But yes, I
wanted to enter the contest. I don't have my beard. I don't know if I can grow it by then, but they said you can't and be a judge. Yeah, we can't have everything.
I understand.
Well, we have some celebrity judges there, right?
Todd Harriman's going to be down there. I know that.
Todd, and that's where they started. Those two guys, Chicky and Pete's. I forget what station it was on. It was like a country station.
Oh, it was XTU.
It was XTU. You're right.
Oh my God. No, because I remember I was at WIP at the time, and I went, "Oh, how do we not?" Because I mean, look, I am not taking any credit for like seeing Jason Kelce as the star that he is now when he was just starting out. But I got to know him a little bit in the locker room, and I was like, man, if this guy's something, he could be special. Like whatever. And I remember hearing on XTU, I'm like, damn, how they get that type of thing. You know what I mean? But yeah, it was XTU. It was Todd Harriman.
They have sports at all.
Pete, I look forward to seeing it. I'll be down there, of course, Thursday night, 7:00 for the Kelce costume contest. Chickies and Pete's, South Philadelphia. It's right there, Packer Ave by the stadium.
Listen,
that's this Thursday night.
You don't have to be in the contest to come. Anybody can come and watch it. Have a Kelce combo while you're there. Sit down, grab a nice table, listen to Farzetta and me. Well, maybe not me because then he might leave. But come listen to Farzetta, Mark, and he's going to be the MC of the night. I think it's going to be a great night, and it'll be getting us psyched up for the next game on Sunday. It'll be a rally of Kelce beards.
And last thing I have to say is, I last time I saw your son, he was just a little kid. He was just a little boy, and now he's doing social media for you guys. Peter, does he go by Peter or does he go by Pete?
He goes by Peter.
Okay.
See, my father was Pete, and then I was Peter. My father passed away. I became Pete, and now my son's Peter.
Hey, man, that's beautiful. Keep it passing down, Fred. He's doing a great job. Great camera presence on that kid. Congrats to you, obviously, on all your success. Absolutely. And I look forward to seeing you Thursday night, friend.
Mark, love you, bud.
Love you back, my man. Love you back. The great Pete Ciarrocchi joining us right there from Chickies and Pete's, joining us right there on the Rotherham Orthopedics guest line. See you, Pete. How about that? My man. Good to catch up with him. I look forward to this Thursday night, 7:00. Be there. You never know who will stop by, but ladies and gentlemen, know what you're going to be getting. I'll tell you what you'll be getting. You'll get your great opportunity, at least not only just these great prizes, but look at that. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh, how good does that look? I could feel it. The crab fries being washed down with a nice pint of garage beer. I'm not the biggest beer guy in the world, but when I find a beer that I like, watch out. That beer is fantastic. That's a very refreshing, delicious beer. Beer-flavored beer, as a matter of fact, is one of the way it's marketed, and I do love it. Let's get into the chat check, see how you guys are doing on this fine Tuesday morning. By the way, the night ahead of the 76ers opening up their season against the Milwaukee Bucks tomorrow night. Look forward to that. Sean Kilrain, hello. Nice to see you. James Alexander III, what's going on? Good morning, Farzi. Going 2-2 against the Celtics and Knicks this season, possibly 4-0 against the Raptors and Nets. Okay. That makes sense to me. Thank you. Tate Jeffries, good morning. Babs, what's happening? Barbara Carroll. Farzi Barkley had 17 carries and Gainwell had some in garbage time. I wouldn't call that running the ball in inordinate amount. Yeah, but it's about, for me, it's about success. The fact that they ran the ball as well as they did. And Gainwell's carries weren't all in garbage time. Will Shipley's carries were definitely in garbage time. I would say that. But let me see if I can just get this in the play-by-play. That's the second quarter, I believe. That's the first quarter. All right. 12-yard run in the second quarter. 4-yard run in the second quarter. Caught for 1 yard. 11-yard run in the second quarter, Kenny Gainwell. Because he had one run in the 5-play drive where they ran the ball 5 times. Excuse me, he had 2 runs. Barkley had the big 55-yard run, so they took him out. And then Gainwell came in, got a 12-yard run. And I went, okay, all right, you gave Saquon the break. Now get him in the game and score a touchdown. And then they gave the ball to Gainwell one more time. So he had 16 yards on that drive on the ground. And then they gave it to Barkley at the 3-yard line. And that's when he carried every member of the New York Giants ever into the end zone on the touchdown. But yeah, then Shipley came in. And Shipley, I don't think he didn't do too much, but I was at least happy to see him get in the game. Get a little run. Get a little run for the young fella, for the rookie. Rookie showing up. What did he end up with? 15 yards? Just under 2 yards per carry? Not great, but you know. Buddy Christ, hello. Dev, what's poppin'? Morning, Farzi. Are the Bengals a real test for the Eagles or another game? We should definitely win. Well, you should definitely win. But my curiosity has to do with Ja'Marr Chase, T. Higgins, going up against Quavion Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, Darius Slay, and Sidney Brown in the event that he gets more snaps in this game. So, no, I think they should win. I'm expecting them to win. I haven't looked at the line yet. Let me take a quick gander at that. Oh, geez. Cincinnati's not even getting the full 3. They're 2.5-point favorites. Wow. At home. At home. They've won back-to-back games. They beat the Browns by 7 points. Scary. Scary. But that's the way that one went down. Yeah. No, I still think they should win. Hopefully they don't tie. You know what I mean? Because that'd suck. Anyway. No, I think they're a challenge simply because of the receiving core and the young secondary continues to get tested. Like, put it this way. Malik Neighbors, I pointed out a couple times already, not today, but before, he torched the NFC East in his 2 previous matchup against the Commanders and the Cowboys. 242 yards in those 2 games. Both of them obviously over 100 yards, as one would assume. He got nothing. Yeah, 41 yards against the Eagles. 4 catches on 8 targets. That's a shame. April. Good morning, April. QB, what's going on, QB? T-Bro, 2-0 with the Brittany Spiriani buzz cut. Love it. T-Bro, that's great. Please tell me that's original. Please tell me you came up with that. This Brittany Spiriani. Oh, God, that's beautiful. Now we need another linebacker and a pass rusher. Oh, I agree. How about Hassan Reddick hiring Drew Rosenhaus, and then like 20 minutes later getting an agreement done. And then that's right around the same time Bryce Huff actually gets a sack and a half in his last 2 games as an Eagle. Foj, what's going on? I-80 State Police. You know why I pulled you over? Feels like that Spurg Sirianni might have turned the season around. Let's go, Bird Gang. Galvanizing moments. Sean Kilred, good morning. If you haven't heard me already, I've shouted out twice. You're Ben Von Sumeren as a fullback. Eric Wisniewski, what's going on, man? Nick looks like a crazy person on America's Most Wanted. Sean, see the photo of AJ just sitting back. Yeah, that was great. With his back up against the rest of the pile. Yeah, that was great. Charles Dead, what's going on? I hate living down the street from Raymond James, but today is a good day. Oh. Mike Evans left the game last night with a hamstring injury, right? Wait, if you live down the street from Raymond James, you live down the street from Maz Venus, if I remember correctly. Not that I've been there. Yeah, what the hell happened? Yeah, Ravens came up with 41 points in the final. 41-31 was the final of that one. Cardinals, they beat the Chargers 17-15. Jalen Reagor. The only thing, I didn't really watch much of that game, but I did see the highlight of Jalen Reagor getting the ball knocked out of his hands. Did they call him? I mean, either way, he didn't come up with the catch, and I think he stepped out of bounds, got the ball knocked out of his hands. That's a shame. That's a shame. That's unfortunate. What did he have yesterday? 1 catch, 41 yards. How about that? He had a 41-yard play. How about that? That's not the one that he fumbled on, was it? No, because I don't think he had possession of the ball. Anyway, I didn't pay close attention. What else we got here? Jason A., good morning. Ivan, morning, fellas. It was nice to see a solid win, but the Giants are a terrible team. Yes, but stay with me here, Ivan, okay? The Eagles were, and still, I'll say this, maybe more so now, but going into the last 2 games, the Eagles are in no shape to compare themselves to the opponent. Now, what do I mean by that? They got too many demons in their own locker room that need to be exercised before they start focusing on anything else. So I don't care that it was the Browns. I don't care that it was the Giants. These were 2 get-right games, and we will see against this Bengals team whether or not they got right. I believe they have gotten right. Even just get to a point where I know you can beat bad teams. Just get to a point where I know you can beat bad teams. That's all I say. Just get to a point where I know you're not the bad team. And you'll fight. You will fight. That's all I got to say about that. Jason A., Brittany Spiriani laughed my ass off. That is funny. Jason A., I hate that. I think they are still wanting explosive plays. Well, I think home runs in baseball and explosive plays in football are cut from the same cloth. They should be mistakes. You shouldn't go out there trying to do it. You go out there with the mindset, if I get a first pitch fastball, I'm going to jump on that first pitch fastball. I'm going to drive that first pitch fastball. You don't think I'm going to hit this out of the park. I mean, good, have confidence. But I don't believe when they're handing the ball off to Saquon Barkley on a run to the outside, they're thinking 55 yards here or else. Ryan, I've heard this from people. I'm a little Jason Kelce'd out. Not me. More, please. Sean Cohen. See what Jalen Reagor with the most Jalen Reagor play of all time. That's great. Okay, Ivan. I think they can build on this as long as they stay balanced. We could be dangerous, but we look like the Berenstein Bears in the first quarter of every game. True. Keystone Cops even. I-80 State Police. 200 drunk dudes dressed as Jason Kelce sounds more like a nightmare than a party to me. Ha 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 ha. I think it sounds like a party. JB. Morning, everyone. I love the Farrs. Thank you very much. Hit like, fellas. Need to continue to support. Good. That's very kind. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Jacob does a great job. True. Very real moment right there. Nothing I could do against that sneeze. I was powerless against it. Sean Conrain, Q Island victims. Malik Neighbors, Mike Evans, Christian Watson, Dobbs, Drake, London, Amari Cooper, Jamar Chase. Oh, Jamar Chase, you next. That'd be pretty amazing. Wine Diners, welcome, Money Farzi and friends. F the Winers. How about the injuries, man? I'm trying to rattle those off. The long list of them. We shall see. I always wonder how Garage was. Delicious. Delicious. My father-in-law's up right now, and he's a big beer guy. And he's brought some beers in that I've been like, tasty. And I'm mostly a whiskey and bourbon guy. And I'll drink wine, of course. Of course. But like, I drank garage beer, and we had some friends and family over, and it was like, okay, I need to take a break because I'll just enjoy the taste. Like, it's just so like good and refreshing and delicious. And it was like, okay, you know what? Because I don't drink beer. Like, I don't drink beer regularly. So when I do have one that I like, I'm like, oh, I'm going to keep drinking this. I was like, okay, Dre, why don't you pump the brakes? I know it's a hot summer day. I know you just mowed the lawn. But 6 after mowing the lawn is quite a few. Even if it is a party time. Crawley, K. Raleigh, what's going on, buddy? Cooper DeJean is a stud. I concur. Daz, morning. Daz, got to have a QB standing upright to throw the ball. That's true. Reddick is interesting. It is interesting. I just want an edge rusher, to be honest. Our linebackers aren't that great, but I'm okay with them. Oh, the Myles Garrett trade talks. How about the Cleveland Browns coming out in defense of Deshaun Watson? Like, don't get me wrong. Bullying an injured player is lowest of low. Like, that's just terrible. Don't do that. But to go so far the other side. What was the word? Model citizen? Was that the word? Was that the phrase used by Myles Garrett? Just take it easy, bud. Take it easy. But I'll take Myles Garrett if you give me Myles Garrett. Oh, this is where if Reddick got traded to an NFC team, would have been nice. Could have had an extra. Oh, yeah. So the Eagles, one of the stipulations in the deal that the Eagles made with the Jets was that if he was traded, the Eagles would get a second-round pick. It was possible, but looks like he's staying in New York with the Jets. Eagles fan, if he walks through NovaCare, Howie better have a blank check ready. Myles? Hell yeah, Myles Garrett. Whoa. T-bro. Hold on a second. Why isn't this coming up? Come up. There we go. Come on. Was drinking some espresso old fashions last night at Tony's place for the anniversary with my wife. You're at Tony's in Ivyland? Was drinking some old espresso. Espresso old fashions. Really? That sounds like something I'd enjoy. I'll try that. Gorby, Farzy, you wouldn't make it in Ireland drinking like that. Gorby, let me just tell you something. I didn't make it in Ireland drinking like that. For the record, my experience in Ireland, and it was only 3 days, I believe. Too much. First off, loved it. Wonderful experience. Loved Ireland. And I am so not Irish. I feel like I'm the only mutt in Pennsylvania that is not at all Irish. Like, my dad's Italian, my mom's Polish, Lithuanian, Slovak. I'm not at all Irish. I'm no Irish in me. And when I went there, I was very, I'm a sucker for any culture, really. And if I don't know anything about it, really, I took to it. It was awesome. I had such a great time. Also, for the record, I had one of the best Italian meals I've ever had in my life. A friend of mine told me, go have an Italian dinner. I was like, in Ireland? That's hilarious. And he's like, no, seriously, do it. I was like, okay, I'll take his word for it. Apparently, there was a huge Italian migration to Ireland. And they cook just like they do at home in Ireland. It is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Real quick, never order these in Ireland. A friend of mine found that out the hard way. Don't order Irish car bombs in Ireland. Do not do that. A friend of mine found out the hard way. Jason A, server at Harvest Season Grill. Our menu changes every season. Well, that's nice. Wine Diners Wine, not Irish or Italian here. Ooh, interesting. There we go. That's interesting. Why don't you do that? Because, okay, I'll tell you the story. Friend of mine goes to order Irish car bombs. I didn't know he was doing it. He just went over to the bar. He did it. He comes back, and he has 2 shots of Jack Daniels. I was like, what? He's just like, just take it. And I'm like, okay. And I take a shot. He goes, I went up to the bartender and I said, hey, can I get 2 Irish car bombs? And I remember we were in the Temple Bar district or section of Dublin. And he's like, just take this. I'm like, okay. He goes, I ordered 2 Irish car bombs. I'll never do that again. I was like, yeah, why would you do that here? And he goes, the bartender, I said to him, can I get 2 Irish car bombs? And the bartender turned around and I saw him pouring Jack Daniels. And he put 2 shot glasses across the table and said, hey, here's your 2 Twin Towers. Like, not a joke. Irish car bombs are a very serious thing over there. You don't celebrate it with a drink. So that's why you don't order an Irish car bomb. Literally. Here's your Twin Towers. Thanks. Yeah. So on that note, hey, how about the Eagles? Am I right? Ladies and gentlemen, always a pleasure catching up with you guys as per usual. Look forward to catching up with you guys. Wait, hold on. What am I? It's a Wrap Sports Network. Okay, I see 2 wins against third-string quarterbacks. The homers are in full bloom again. It's about the way the Eagles play, not about who they're playing. But against the Bengals, we'll step it up a notch against that receiving core. Later on in the season, as things continue for your Philadelphia Eagles, and you see them go up against, some more of the upper echelon opponents. Another divisional game against the Cowboys. They're not very good. Another divisional game right after that against the Commanders. That one for now is a night game. Yeah. How about this? The Eagles got flexed out of the game. The Eagles got flexed out of the game against the Jaguars in, Doug Peterson, playing Doug Peterson, all that. Sunday Night Football. That's rough. That's 2 games flexed out of a national game. I told you before, it's all about the trust in a team. The network does not trust the Jaguars above everything. Doug Peterson might not even be the coach at that point. But they just won, so that's weird. And the Eagles. I think this one's more about the Jaguars than anything. Because the only sexiness to that game is Doug Peterson coming to Philly. And if they lose again, Doug Peterson might not be coming to Philly. So there's that. And then when do they have? Yeah, then they have the Ravens in Baltimore coming up on the 1st of December. So, looking at the rest of this schedule, Eagles might have 2 more losses the rest of the season. They obviously could lose against the Ravens in Baltimore. I like them beating the Rams in L.A. Maybe 3 with a divisional loss. It's fun. This is fun. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. My name is Mark Farzetta. This is the Farzy Show presented by MyBookie, mybookie.ag. Thanks to Pete Ciarrocchi, Chickies and Pete's South Philly joining the show. I'll be down there at Chickies and Pete's South Philly on Thursday night at 7 o'clock for the Jason Kelce costume contest. Happy Halloween and go Birds. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. My name is Mark Farzetta. This is the Farzy Show. Make sure you hit like and subscribe on the Farzy Show YouTube channel. And make sure you like and subscribe on the Jacob Media YouTube channel. Make sure you like and subscribe on the Seth Joyner Show YouTube channel for all your Eagles pre- and post-game needs. And make sure you like and subscribe on the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, where yours truly will be starting up his 76ers postcasts, just like we did last season, just like we did for baseball season, all of baseball season. We're starting it up again for your 76ers postcasts on the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, everybody. Catch you guys tomorrow. Have a wonderful rest of your day. See you later. Bye-bye.